Hi, today we're gonna do the Indian logic means of knowledge. So we know there are 6 means of knowledge. These are called the Prmanas. The Prmanas, these 6 pramanas are included in the syllabus of Indian logic. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna know the basics of the 6 pramanas. So let's go with the first pramana. The first pramana is called the partiksha. That is called, in English it's called the perception. So in partiksha, that is perception, the knowledge which are acquired are through perception, and this perception can be divided into two, that is the direct perception and the indirect perception. So indirect perception, it will involve the physical body, the sensory organs, the 5 sensory organs. These are the eyes, ear, nose, skin, and tongue. In those knowledge which are acquired through smell. Let's start from the eyes. When we see things, those things which are acquired through by seeing is in the eyes, and in the second one, that is the ear. It is the sound. The sounds that we hear, the knowledge we get when we hear something is sound, that is through ear, and in nose, these are the smells. And in skin, this knowledge are acquired through touch, and last of all, the tongue, the taste, and how a thing tastes like. Is it sour, bitter, or those things which are acquired by tongue. And in indirect perception, these are acquired through our memories. Like for example, when we see something red, and if it is a fruit, then we'll think of something like, is it a cherry, or if it is bigger, it might be an apple. So these are the knowledge. And smriti is the language, is the Sanskrit word for memory. So in this picture, the knowledge given by this picture is acquired through our perception. So maybe somebody sees this as a rabbit, or somebody sees it as a duck. So this perception is used by means of these 5 senses. The eyes, we see the picture, so by seeing this picture we take in what the picture means. So in the next slide we have the anupama. Anupama is called the assumption. Is the word for assumption, anupama. It is assumed knowledge of what we don't see from what we see. So it is the assumed knowledge, means that for example, we have seen things like, let's say there's a family, and there's a family of 2 siblings, and we only see one sibling, and we can somewhat think about what the other sibling looks like, as there are siblings. So if one looks beautiful, then we may also think that the other might also look beautiful. This is the anupama. And in the next we have the upama, comparison. The English word for upama is comparison. So in this knowledge, in this pramana, we are getting the knowledge through similarity between 2 different types of knowledge. So we are going to compare between 2 different objects through their similarity, based on comparison and not only perception and assumption. So when one person has the knowledge of a dog, that is an animal with 4 legs and it barks. So when it sees to some other place and hears something barking, and sees that it is four-legged, then the person will know that that animal may be related to dog, or it might be a dog. So this upama is used with the knowledge of similarity. And in the next upama, pranama, we have the arthapati. The arthapati, the English word for arthapati is assumption or implication. So in this knowledge, we are going to state the relationship between two objects, relation and implication, and it includes supposition and presumption. So for example, when there is no students in a classroom, we imply that there is no class going on, and that is the relation between the no students being in the classroom and the implication that there is no class going on. So examples like this are the examples of arthapati, this is assumption or implication. In the next knowledge, we have the anupalabdhi, apprehension and non-apprehension. These are basically based on apprehension of non-existing thing, which is based on non-perception. So for example, like the existence of God and how it looks like is a non-perception thing, because they cannot see or they cannot feel it, but they make an apprehension out of the non-existing thing. That is the anupalabdhi. So in the last state, pramana, it is the shabda. Shabda means word or verbal statement. So this is the most reliable form of knowledge, because it can be proved. Like verbal indication, this may be statement, text, a symbol, or a word. So let's recap it from the first one. There are 6 pramanas. Pramanas means proved or user. The first we have pratiksha, perception. There are 2 types, direct and indirect. Anupama, that is the assumption that we do not see from what, that assume knowledge of what we do not see from what we see. Then we have upamana, the comparison style based on similarity. Then we have arthapati, the assumption and implication. Then we have anupalabdhi, apprehension and non-apprehension. And we have sabda, the most reliable one, that consists of statement, text, symbols, and words. This knowledge are taken out from internet sources, and these are just basic knowledge, and I hope you enjoy learning.